This is your 2020 Mitsubishi Outlander plug-in hybrid electric vehicle, Canada's best-selling plug-in hybrid electric vehicle, and the only SUV that has standard all-wheel drive. Let's go perks, quirks, and irks. Kind of a conservative front end. You have a halogen turn signal, not the greatest, but you do have LED day runners, LED headlights, and a little lower, you have your LED fog lights. There's a nice little chrome trim that surrounds it there. And nothing spectacularly outstanding, but it suits the vehicle. As we go around to the front quarter, which is where we started, you'll see a little more of that. Not an exciting design. Let's call it a traditional design, but you know what? It doesn't really have to be big and flashy. It's a form over function. Other way around. It's function over form. Taking a look at the side profile, kind of the same thing. It's just a classic two-box shape. You do get, as far as the differentiator between the gasoline Outlander, is this big blue sign that says plug-in hybrid electric vehicle. There it is in the light. Turn signals in your side mirrors, body color, door handles, always a nice touch. Here's a quirk, silver trim along the bottom of the windows, and it goes up and it stops at the top of the third window, and there's nothing that goes across here. And it's wouldn't mind some continuum to have a full, not quite circle, full oval around it. Anyways, rims, not a fan. They're way too busy for me. Just simplify that a little bit. Yeah, just not a big fan. Anyway, going around the rear, kind of looks like a minivan from this angle. Or not this angle, just this specific cut, the rear quarter. But that's neither here nor there. Anyways, taking a look at the rear, nice big red lights for your brake lights and the reflectors. More halogen turn signals. For a little over $50,000, I would like an LED turn signal, please and thank you. Mitsubishi, you got your reverse lights down there, plus the reflectors above, and the Outlander sign, and the super all-wheel control, which is what Mitsubishi says is the best in the world. Let's take a look at the trunk. Oops, so it's power trunk. It's a very slow power trunk, but you know what, that's okay. Cargo figures are on the screen. Beneath the cover, you get your home charger. Lift it up again, you have your tire fill kit there. A little more storage plus your jack, and a little more storage in there. Now the cool thing, Mitsubishi has given us a 3-prong charger here for, you know, a vacuum or a cooler or whatever. Plus a little more storage there, your retractable cover, and the easy to fold down rear seat. Taking a look inside, we're always talking about function over fashion. Well, this is pretty cool for Mitsubishi. Actually, for any car maker. So this is one. So you're gonna pull it, headrest goes down. This is a cool thing. So I'm gonna pull the tab 2, I'm gonna step back a bit and just take a look. Well done, good job, springs. And then finally, I'm gonna put the seat down. Sorry, seatbelt got stuck there. And that's how you get a flat, full cargo area. So you're going to IKEA, got some flat stuff that you want packed in. This is how you do it. Well done, Mitsubishi, on making this a completely functional cargo area. Here's what I really like. I'm gonna switch it right over here to the seats. This cool diamond quilted pattern. It looks beautiful and it's really, really comfortable. Thigh bolsters, pretty good. Side bolsters, full marks for me. And just, I like how there's a contrast. It's just a flat pattern here, flat down the middle, and then you have the diamond quilt here. Just looks really, really sharp. Plus you get the piping just on the edges of the side bolsters running up the thigh bolsters. Thigh bolsters, side bolsters. I don't care for the carbon fiber. It looks cool, but it's going to catch fingerprints, and that diamond pattern continues. So it's a nice soft touch material. But then again, that's hard, soft, so I would rather had all of it there. Let's jump in and take a quick spin through this. Here's your dashboard. There's your start-stop button. Let's take a look at the opening graphic. Little globe, plug-in hybrid EV. So no traditional tachometer because there's the power and battery gauge. Regular speedometer on your right side and all sorts of information in the middle. So there's 1 kilometer left on the battery, and you can see that right there at the bottom. There's hardly anything in the blue. That's my gas meter, and that's how much I have until empty with a combination of battery and gas. Steering wheel, pretty comfortable, heated. I like this. This is a cool perk for me. It is the camera button, so I'm going to push it. Can I get both on the screen? Anyway, you can see on the right side of your screen, the 360 cam and the backup cam show up, all with a touch of 1 button. And you keep pushing it and you get a couple of different angles. My drawback to this is it's very outdated. It's low res. That part's not bad, but just the backup camera itself doesn't look all that great. And for 2020, I would have thought there would have been a higher resolution. Anyways, let's go back to the steering wheel. Weirdly, the button you press to get through all your information in the middle is buried behind the turn signal stock. At least if it was here, it'd be easier to get to. But, you know, I guess there's only 3. You can kind of feel your way around, but I want to be able to see that with a little more clarity. Anyways, you get different pieces of information there as well. The cool thing here for me is the little leaf, and the more sensitively you drive and use the battery, the more leaves show up green instead of being outlined. A couple of safety things here, front collision and lane departure warning. There's your gas door and your trunk release. Couple of blanks right there. Plus there, not a big fan because it is the top trim and I wish they used to have that. All right, big 8-inch screen. Let's go to the home screen. Easy to use, not too bad. The graphics aren't terrible on this. It's actually fairly clear. So I wish they would have taken the technology from this, put it in the cameras, and just made it a little higher res. There is no volume knob, and that is just, I don't know, not cool. Remember when Honda did that with, I think it was a Civic a few years ago, the uproar and ridiculousness that they faced? So I'm just shifting over here to show you where the volume is. This is the only way you can shift your volume on the steering wheel. And then you have these, so it's not the only way, but like, if I want to turn something down really quick because someone's calling, someone's talking to me or whatever, give me a physical button, please, please, please. HVAC, pretty easy to get through. So I'm gonna just turn it up a little bit because it is kind of hot in the car. You get your air conditioning there, and as far as your different modes for up, down, windshield, all there, nice and easy. And your 4-ways end up there. Let's get some of that air conditioning here. It's a little hot on the last weekend in September. So here are more buttons. There's your cigarette lighter adapter. To activate the power on off for the tailgate right there. This is kind of silly. You can see how far it goes in, right? Like there's my knuckle. Like I don't know what you'd possibly put in there. Like it's not even on that much of an angle, but anyways. USB, blank, heated steering wheel, blind spot. That's how you activate that three-prong plug in the rear, and that's your eco mode. Couple of cup holders. Sounds kind of funny. This is kind of a waste of space for me. Like I think they could have put a little bit of storage or even like a thin line. Would have liked to have seen that. Gear shifter is a little weird to get used to. There's the shift pattern. So you're going to go over and up one to get into reverse, and then you're going to go down one for neutral. Then you can't go down again to drive. You got to go. I should actually show you this. Let's try that again. Let's go to park, which is weirdly tucked right back there. So a quick run through. Left and up is reverse, straight down is neutral, left and down is drive, and then right and back is battery. So I'll put it back into park, as you can see right there. There's your 4-wheel drive lock and your EV button, auto hold, parking brake, and your heating seats are kind of buried back here. I don't know, like I'm not a huge fan of the layout of this area, or even put the extra storage here and give me these functions up here where I can see them, so I don't have to kind of turn my head this way and then look up at the steering wheel and so on. Let's do the drive in the 2020 Mitsubishi Outlander plug-in hybrid electric vehicle. Under the hood is a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine, and that specific engine puts out 117 horsepower and 137 pound-feet of torque. The balance, when mixed with the electric motors, gives you a grand total of 190 horsepower and 245 pound-feet of torque. So a pretty big boost by having the hybrid system in place. As far as acceleration goes, not too bad on the gasoline side. Definitely more pronounced when you're in full battery mode. Cornering handling, it's not too bad. It's a larger SUV with a higher center of gravity. So, you know, keep your speed respectable and you won't have any weird moments of, oh, I think I might tip, or any loss of control or rear end swing outs. Let's talk about the actual battery component of it. So you get 35 kilometers of all electric range, and it's a really quiet ride once it kicks in, and the responsiveness, pretty respectable. I was pleasantly surprised, Mitsubishi being a smaller player in the market, and then they realize that, so they've got to really, pull a little extra weight to stay competitive with the larger players. But it's fairly quick to charge as far as kind of getting your juice back up to full, and I'll put in a list of the different times, because interestingly, that was a weird segue. Interestingly, I can't believe I said that. Anyway, interestingly, the Outlander does level 1, level 2, and level 3, which is pretty impressive. So if you can get your hands on a level 3 charger, the time is very short. I believe it's 25 minutes to go from nothing to the full 35 kilometers worth. So pretty good. It'll all depend on your driving style, who's in the car, what's in the car, road conditions, a lot of variables. But if it's ideal conditions like it is today, last weekend in September, it's fairly cool, there's a nice breeze, I don't need the HVAC, then you'll probably get most of the 35, and I'm not an aggressive driver either, so another contributing factor to that. This is the only SUV in Canada that is a plug-in hybrid and that has standard all-wheel drive, or as Mitsubishi calls it, super all-wheel control. So that's a definite benefit in the winter, and I think that had a bit to do with them being having the most hybrid sales in Canada last year. I think it's at least as of January, February 2020. But it's a pretty big accomplishment for such a niche automaker in North America. Let's talk about fuel consumption. So surprisingly, it's only a 43-liter gas tank, and it takes regular fuel. I would have thought it would have been maybe 55, 60, or maybe even 50, but 43 liters is where we're at. It's 9.4 in the city, it's 9.0 on the highway, and your blended total comes out to 9.2. Not too bad. Now, Mitsubishi says on their website, you can go 499 kilometers on one full tank and one full charge. So, not too bad, again, for a vehicle of this size, and the gas tank being so small. So I've managed to get almost the 499. I think I maxed out at, I think it was 470, 472 before I had to refill. You pull your left paddle to go and increase the amount of regen braking you get. You pull your right one to reverse it. If you're outside of the city and there's no other cars around, you can maybe get the car to come to a full stop. But if you're in a city, you're going to need a lot of proverbial runway to bring this down to a complete stop. So I don't necessarily advise it, but know that it is there. So I'm in B0, which is battery 0 right now, and there's no resistance to just going straight. And then as I go from B1 up through B5, you can see the things in that window slowing down. The seats are very, very comfortable, so full marks to Mitsubishi on that. The cabin's dated as far as design goes. It could use a pretty big upgrade, and I hope one comes over the next couple of years, because it's a good vehicle overall. Again, with the range and the ride comfort and the ride quality, the outside's good, under the hood is good, the battery pack is good. They just need to focus a little more on where you spend all of your time in the vehicle, and there's no volume knob, and that just irks me to say it again. It irks me. Just the number of times I've turned the temperature dial thinking it was a volume knob, a little more than I'd like to admit on camera. But anyways, it could use a fresh coat of paint, I believe is the nice way for me to go ahead and say that. The top trim GT, and it's a little pricey. We're coming in at the low $50,000 mark. Again, as of the end of September 2020, prices will fluctuate up and down every month as per the manufacturer's discretion. But you do get a pretty good suite of safety systems here, and I'll list them off. My highlights are the blind spot monitoring, the 360-degree camera, lane departure warning, rear cross traffic alert. Overall, the Outlander plug-in, pretty good, and I know that Ford has their Escape hybrid, not plug-in, and I know that Toyota has their RAV4 hybrid, not plug-in. Now, there is the RAV4 Prime coming, I think actually might already be here, and it is a plug-in. So we'll kind of wait and see over the next few months as to how popular that will be. But if it's anything like the other two RAV4 offerings, it's going to be a smash hit. So I think that, Mitsubishi does have a good product here. There's definitely an appetite for it, and I think in the next couple of years they're going to bounce that 35 kilometers up to 50 or 60. And it's just going to be market demand. You can't have something so low. Your competitors go high and you stay down low, kind of like the first Kia Soul EV. I think the range on that was 175 kilometers, and the new 2020 Soul EV, I think it's over 383, I believe. But anyways, bringing it back to the Outlander PHEV, dated interior, decent looking exterior, very conservative, but The ride quality is nice, the acceleration is good, the fuel economy isn't too bad. That's going to wrap it up for the 2020 Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV. If you've got any questions on the vehicle, let me know in the comments, and I'll do my best to get you answers as soon as possible. Thank you so much for watching. I should get out of the dark for this one. There I am. Am I there? Right, let's keep that. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate the support. Be well, be healthy, be safe, and I'll be back sooner than later with my next review.